about data. Is big data good or evil? Well, data did suffer a bit of reputation last a few years back, and especially personal data, because we feel a bit, iffy when people said, oh, can you disclose all your information? And we don't really know what that information is going to happen, who's going to sell it to who, where is it going to go, and so on and so forth. Of course, there are rules and regulations, but not always kind of working the way we wish. But actually, data can be a force for good. And I was at Google, and there's no pun intended actually. I was at Google a few years back, about a year and a bit ago. And I learned that Google uses behavior data to predict, for example, epidemics. So in the wintertime, we all search about flu tablets, flu cures, and so on and so forth. So basically, Google can predict, or any search engine can predict, for example, if there's going to be a pandemic or an epidemic on flu or any other diseases. So that makes me wonder, being a sustainability consultant or an ex-sustainability consultant, whether data could actually bridge the gap between sustainable consumption and sustainable production. After selling my business, I'm thinking how we can actually make or bridge this gap between sustainable consumption and sustainable production if we as people, we don't want to change anything. I don't really want to change anything. Who can do the work for me in order to live a better life, to live a positive life? Well, the answer is quite simple. Companies should. And is it true that in the time of economic contraction, companies are caring at all about sustainability? Well, yes, they do, because they have to comply to governments and regulations. And although we believe in climate change or not, the reality is that there are too many people in the world, and we need to feed us all, and we need to find housing, and there's diseases, etc., etc. So we need to find a way to reconcile this number of people with the speed of which natural resources are being consumed. So Fairtrade a few years back launched this QR code that you can actually have traceability all the way to product level to see where your coffee come from. Do you know, guys, where your coffee come from? Who had coffee this morning? Right? Do you know where your coffee come from? How many of you actually care? Right? Great answer. And I always thought that, if the information about where our products come from, how are they manufactured, would be easy, instead of, as sustainability people have developed this incredibly complex language only we understand and sit somewhere really far away in the back end of a company. If this was given to us very simple, we might pay attention to it, and we actually maybe choose products and services that actually are not just only good for us people, but and make us look good and feel good, but also for society and the wider world as well. So I would say that I had a second chance, because although my first business, I grew it and I sold it and so on, when I stepped down as the CEO, I thought, is this success or failure? And actually, for me, it was failure, because I haven't really achieved a movement. I really actually have not done enough to be able to get all of you to put your hands up and say, I care. Because it's too bloody hard, too difficult to care, because the information is not simple or accessible to us. So what I went off to do is to develop the first real-time sustainability trust mark on the internet. Mouthful, I know. At the point of purchase, you can click on this little butterfly and tells you not only where your product comes from, but if it has child labor involved, whether the company have good manufacturing processes and policies, whether the company lose life plugging or boiling in terms of the products, would have parabens in your beauty, in your moisturizers, etc., etc. All the way that we can actually develop not just this on the internet, you can have it on your phone, and actually now with the new iPhone 5, you can actually have an NFC tag, so you can actually put your phone onto the back of your label and you can actually access this information. And we develop a dashboard that companies can come in real time and look how we consumers are interacting with this. We've got I started this company gone live about 11 months ago. We've got about 350 companies on board already, and our numbers are going up and up in terms of our traffic, and mainly it's UK right now. But this is how it goes. This is a real case study. So 90% of us really kind of would like to believe that we are buying products that are more socially and environmentally responsible. 75% of us do not want to pay more, and I'm sure that the number is actually higher. And 77% of us will actually boycott a company if we believe that they are not using kind of ethical practices. How many of you will boycott a company if you know that they're not producing the products in a social or environmentally responsibly manner? Wow, loads. So one of the brands that we work with at the moment is ASOS. I don't know if you're familiar with. They sell clothes online, boys and girls. I'm sure the girls in the room know probably a bit better than the boys. But I really believe that we can vote with our money. If it was so simple to us that you can see the blue butterfly and the company, somebody else have done the homework for you, and you can click and verify it. And if you don't have the blue butterfly, you say, well, why not? It will be so easy for us that we will vote with the money. We will vote for those companies that are actually responsible. What is the name for the companies? Well, this is some of the results. So ASOS Africa, has had, since they have the butterfly, 148% increase in terms of products viewed, 122% increase in terms of web visits, and 88% more items into their checkout. Consumer spraying. I believe in that. I think sustainability, or the S word, is tired, needs reinvention. And doesn't need reinvention in terms of a theoretical way, but in a way that is access to us. We need to make it easy. And if we take this upon us and actually can vote with our money, I really believe that we can actually make a difference. So thank you very much. And hopefully from today, you guys have the power to do something about it. Thank you.